What's happening, ladies? I want to do a video on this 10 reasons to know your man ain't shit. Now listen, there are more reasons to this, but these are the main reasons I could think of. This is from my perspective. I'm sure there's other videos on YouTube talking about this subject, but this is my perspective. Now, one thing is that you're going to realize, or you may not realize, is that if this is my perspective, this will also be the perspective of other men, okay? Number one, he does not want to work. You do not want to have a lazy man. That is a bad character trait, to not want to work. Notice I did not say he is not working. Now, if he is not working because he does not want to work, that is the problem. But if he's just unemployed or something like that, you know, that's different. Because I'll tell you something about men. We have our pride. And one of the things with men is that we have pride in being a working man, or a guy that built his own business, or a man that is very successful. If he doesn't have that trait where he wants to be a successful, providing man, like it's in our nature to want to protect and provide. Okay? It's not just a society thing. Like, we want to do that. That's the reason why when we like you, we start to buy you gifts and take you more dinners and buy you clothes. We want to provide. I mean, shit, animals do that stuff. They bring each other shiny rocks and stuff like that. You know, it's, we want to provide for you. We want to impress you. So if he don't want to do that, he's got a problem in his manhood. Number two, he doesn't live on his own. All right, now, this goes for a man that is at an age, and this is arguable, but at an age where he definitely should be on his own, okay? If you damn near 40 and you living with your parents, there's a fucking issue there, okay? I'm not saying you ain't shit, but you could be on your way to being ain't shit. And what I mean by that is that sometimes, I've noticed this recently with married couples. Sometimes are moving back in with mom and dad because they've made all these fucking bad financial decisions. Okay? And, you know, it's not just one of them, but it's both of them. So I think it's a little bit different. And I could get into a big discussion about the financial situation of the country and the reasons why behind a lot of these things with people getting out of college and getting married and their college loans being so much. But I just want to focus on the dude, the single man that should be out of the fucking house by now. And y'all all know somebody like this, or have known somebody like this, or know somebody that knows somebody like this. Where it's like, dude, dog, you should be out the house by now. Seriously. What is your problem? Okay? Because if you have a job, there should be no reason why you should be homeless. I mean, you know, you living with your parents. It's their home. You homeless. You living in their home, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe I'll elaborate in another video on that. I can see some people get mad at that, but that's just the way I feel personally. Number three, he calls you out of your name. I think that's an issue when a man starts calling you, you know, all types of, you know, the cliche shit, bitches, cunt, whore, you know. When you're calling somebody out in their name, it really, I mean, shows your character, I believe. And I've been cussed out by women before, and I've told them to stop it, you know, because it really doesn't, you know, it doesn't sit well with me. If every time y'all get into an argument, you a bitch and this and that, asshole, fuck you, this and that, you know, I just really think that if you're a man should be able to control his emotions and be calm to the point where he can speak calmly to his woman. Now listen, brothers, I know women can drive you through the fucking roof. I understand this. And hey, What if she called you a name first? Then you could, in the heat of an argument, yes. You know, you're an asshole, fuck you, bitch. I get it. But when I've been called names from women, I just be like, look, don't call me that. Seriously, you disrespected me, and it's not really going to help the situation in the first place. And also, let me say something about this. All of these traits put together make a no shit man. Most of these things put together make a ain't shit man. Sometimes you got a truly wonderful man that from time to time y'all get mad he calls you a bitch. Now, don't mean he's not shit. So you're gonna have to make your own decision on whether your man ain't shit. Because if it has a lot of these qualities or even a few of them, there's probably an issue. He could be on his way to being fully ain't shit. Okay? So look at a lot of these signs as warning signs. Number 4, he has children that he doesn't take care of. All right. We've all made mistakes. We've all been irresponsible adults from time to time. Okay? So if you... I mean, what does that say about him as his character as a fucking human? Just a human being. That you don't want to take care of your offspring? I can never do that. My dad did that to us. Punk motherfucker. That's the reason why I don't give a fuck about him now. You know what I mean? It hurts inside that your dad deserts you. And I think it takes a certain amount of callousness that I think just my personal belief that human beings should not have. You know, just like when I find out there's women that whose children were taken away from them. I'm like, wait a minute. The man has the children? Because from what I understand with the law, the woman has to be an absolute piece of trash for them to take them away from her. Because usually the courts, when they split up families, the kids almost always go with the children for psychological reasons, from what I learned from psychology class. Whether it's supposed to be or not, whether it's true or not, from what I understand, that's what mostly happens. I remember my professor saying the woman has to be doing really bad for them to absolutely take the children from her like that. Number 5, he's a career criminal. If your man cannot stay off the block, if he cannot stop robbing, if he cannot stop shooting and killing, stabbing and killing, getting into fights constantly, just doing all these things that are getting him arrested, that's one of them things where I could say that, you know what, that's one of them things where I could say, you know, that right there makes him ain't shit. Some of these things right here, if it's just, as I'm going through the list, I'm realizing that sometimes one of these things is you ain't shit. If you ain't taking care of your children, you ain't shit. If he call you out your name, he could be on his way to not being shit because you might have said something too. If he doesn't live on his own, he could be on his way. And he doesn't want to work. He could just be being lazy because sometimes men get into ruts where things ain't just going right and they don't want to work because they're depressed, okay? But see, 1 through 3 so far, those are just signs that you could be on your way to being ain't shit. But 4, if you ain't taking care of your children, you ain't shit. And if you a career criminal, you ain't shit. Period. Because, I mean, you just keep getting caught and going back in. I mean, you're insane by some people's, perspective. You are doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, apparently, because you must think you're going to get away each time. And you just cannot stop. Some brothers get addicted, and when I say brothers, I'm talking about all men. You get addicted to the fast money. You get addicted to the drug dealing or whatever it is that you're doing, the robbing and raping and whatever you're doing. It's just, you can't make it the normal way. Because now all of a sudden you knew you could get money like this, and now you gotta wait a week or two for your paycheck. So it's hard to adjust. But you better learn to adjust because it ain't good to keep going in and out of the prison system. Number 6, he's abusive. This is another thing where basically he ain't shit. And what I mean by abusive is, I mean, this is something that is, there's been a succession of things, you know, like, you know, and this is also mentally abusive, not just physically abusive, you know. He beat you last week, he beat you after that, he beat you the next month, 2 months later he beat you again, then he beat you the week after that. Like, I'm not talking about you got into a super heated argument and he hit you once. Because sometimes some guy, and I'm just coming from a man's point of view, I've never hit a girl before in my life, just so you know. And he could have seen it growing up and told himself he would never be that way. And at some point, you hit that switch and he hit you. He promises he'll never do it again. Think about that for a second, ladies. A man that is the total package, but then he hauls off and hits you one day. Does that mean that he will do it again? I don't believe so, especially if he gets control of his anger. The man who hits you once and says, I'm sorry and I'm going to get control of this, I'm actually signing up for counseling tomorrow. You know, I'm going to find the avenues I need because I'm sorry about that. And women shouldn't be hitting men either, just so you know. Y'all ain't shit if you keep hitting your man, just so you know. Or you on your way to not being shit. So make sure you take care of that and nip that in the bud, because truthfully, men, if you do hit a woman, there's a point where, I mean, some of you have lost your woman, a good woman, a great woman, from hitting her once because you made a mistake and you couldn't control your temper. I don't think that means you ain't shit, especially if you a dude that is like the total provider and protector, where you got 4 or 5 kids and you're taking care of them, you feed them, you're at soccer practice, baseball practice, you're all the birthday parties, your wife gets showered with gifts, everything, you write her poetry, she gets flowers and candy and cards, but you fucked up one day in a super argument and hit her. I don't think you're not shit. No. But remember, ladies, as we're going through this, you need to gauge these things, because he could be on his way to killing you if he hits you once and does not get help. That's what you want to be concerned about. You need to go to couples therapy, or he need to go get control of his anger, because if he don't want to get it under control and you just hearing I ain't gonna do it again, I ain't gonna do it again might work, but I'd like a little bit of insurance if I was a woman. Let me see how we doing on time. 12 minutes in. All right. Number 7, you are his financial crutch. God damn. I have met so many I've met a few women in my life that have told me about men that constantly ask them for money. Constantly. And I'm like, well, it goes back to the whole thing of living on your own. Like with men, it's a pride thing. And for men that don't have the pride to make their own money, what the fuck is wrong with you? I would never, ever, 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 ever ask Sarah for money unless, I mean, I absolutely was in dire straits and absolutely needed it. That's the only way I would do it. And then guess what? She is going to be my main priority to pay back, because there's no way she's going to tell people that I'm some type of financial leech. Fuck that. Okay? Yeah, it just says so much about a dude when he moves in with a girl and he's eating all her food, playing Madden all day, you know, talking shit too. A lot of dudes like that, they talk shit. She's buying him his clothes, and I'm like, you are the dumbest bitch on the fucking planet. Sorry for calling you out your name, ladies. But you have to be the dumbest woman on the planet for doing something like that. You do not take care of your man, okay? You take care of each other, all right? Now, unless you got a setup where he's your boy toy, you know, I think it's just in men's nature to want to be a provider and take care of you. And I personally, as a man, don't have a problem with that. You know, my job is bringing in enough. I don't mind having a housewife. I really don't. Because for her to keep the house clean and cook me food and take care of the children and all that, that's a whole different job that usually has no fucking pay. Like men, you know, but I do know that there are certain well-to-do men that actually give their women like an allowance. I know it sounds childish in a way, like she's a fucking child, But he gives her, I mean, he gives her money when she needs it because she does her job. She's very supportive. She's taking care of the children, cleaning the house, cleaning the children, all that stuff. I think she deserves to have her own spending money. You know what I mean? That's just my own thing, you know. She's not a live-in whore or nothing like that, but she needs money, makes the world go around. What if she wants to have lunch? What if she wants a nice dress? What if she wants some jewelry? Fine, you can have it because you're doing a great job as a mother. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But if he's your boy toy, okay, take care of him. Like literally, if he's like a damn, almost like a damn live-in gigolo, okay, if that's y'all setup, but not, if that ain't your setup, y'all should be taking care of each other, okay? As far as I'm concerned. One hand washes the other. Number 8, he has a he's a chronic cheater. Yeah. Let me go back to, yeah, he's abusive. Yeah, if he's abusive, he ain't shit. Number 7, if you're finding his financial crutch, he ain't shit. He ain't shit. Okay, so almost all of these you can see, he ain't shit, except for like a couple that I've named. So, number 8, he's a chronic cheater. He ain't shit, as far as I'm concerned. I understand fucking up once, maybe even twice. Our minds think differently than yours do, ladies. Like, I'm telling you right now. I've seen the shows, I've seen the talk shows, and I might even do a video on this, but a man can cheat and still love you like all of his vital organs. Need you like all of his vital organs. Cherish you like all of his vital organs. Need you to live. Because he was caught up by looking at some other woman's ass and she offered it to him. He busted a nut. And if she said you leave your wife, he'll be like, you bitch, you are fucking crazy. Like, that's what does happen. I am not saying that it's right. Okay? But after a certain point, like, here's the thing. Maybe get out of jail once. But if you keep cheating, like I can say that all people can get weak, but if you cheat, like you want to, like I'm telling you right now, I know dudes right now, one in particular right now, that he's a career cheater. He constantly, you know, he told me one time, he said, you know, I would never leave her because I know what I got. But hey, you know, in other words, it's like, yeah, I'm fucking all these different girls, you know, and men love variety. So check out my video, Why Do Men Cheat? But, you know, after a while, it's kind of like, alright, you know, it's too far. It's to the point where, you know, I knew one guy, he told me his beeper, this back when we had beepers, he said his beeper would, you know, go off, and see what we doing on time. He said his beeper would go off, and right in front of his wife. It was to a point to where it was so blatant. He's just, it's just his normal life to cheat. I'm not talking about a man that cheated maybe when y'all weren't having sex because y'all were at odds with each other. It was a point in the marriage or the relationship where y'all were it just felt like it wasn't going to work out, and he fucked up and cheated with a girl on a weeknight. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the dude that don't give a fuck. If he don't give a fuck, he just cheats over and over and over again. Get rid of him, because he don't care about you. Like I said, not the dude that fucked up once. Because I know there's some women that have fucked up once or twice, okay? And you still consider yourself a good woman because of everything else you do. But for a moment of weakness, that's what got you. That's what it got you. Number 9. He will not better himself. He don't want to do nothing better than just, you know, I think it says something about a person when they have, what's the word I want to say here? You know, they have this motivation. They have this, y'all know the word I'm looking for too. You know what I mean? They got this gumption. They're just ready to go. They want to become a better person than they are today. I think that doesn't mean that your man ain't shit. That actually could just mean that he's complacent. Like, he could have a regular old, like, bullshit 9 to 5 that kind of pays the bills, you know, kind of makes the ends meet, you know, y'all together. But he's really complacent. This is one of those ones. It's a warning sign, because when you're really complacent, it can lead to laziness. It can lead to ain't being shit. Because life is a journey. And most people, I would say, want to get the most out of it. Sometimes they can't find the motivation, you know, to do it. And a lot of times you can see this when a guy says, you know, shit, I ain't shit, I ain't gonna never be shit. That's how you know when he don't want to better himself. He don't want nothing else but some, I mean, like, if you're 40 and you're, seriously, and I truly believe this, you can get mad at me all you want. If you're 40 and you're working the cashier at Wendy's, okay, if you're working the cash register at Wendy's, I think that's an issue. Now, I'm not talking about if you're disabled and all these other things. I'm not talking about that, okay? I'm talking about you're 40, you're young enough to, you know, still go out there and establish yourself as a man. I think that kind of says something about you as far as wanting to better yourself. I'm sorry. This is my opinion, okay? Like, you don't care. Look, to me, if any man does not, and sometimes it's just ignorance, so I don't blame everybody. I'm talking about for the men that know. For any person who does not at least want to be financially free, in other words, I mean not worry about where the money's coming from, okay? To be able to want to go anywhere you want, when you want to go on vacation, go these different places. Most people, I would say, want this, but either don't believe they can find it, or, you know, they just straight up ignorant, or they have a defeatist attitude. Like I said, I ain't shit, I ain't gonna never be shit, fuck it, I am who I am, fuck it, I'll kill a nigga today and go back to jail, I don't give a damn, you know, one of them type of dudes, you know, you know, he ain't shit. And especially, you know, I know specifically with the black culture, there's a lot of black women in college right now bettering themselves. Or at least I hope so, because a lot of college kids are getting out and they're not finding no fucking jobs. But at least she's trying, you know, she's trying to better herself. And a lot of times they run into these men that just ain't shit. You know, and because women sometimes, and not even black women, just women, period, can become desperate as far as finding a man and getting married, they'll take what they can get. And they're like, well, he do this and this, so I'll deal with this. He ain't shit, but he still treat me right. That type of thing. So don't lower your standards, ladies. And number 10, he's a drug addict. Now, look, this is one of those precursors, because it don't mean that you ain't shit. There's a lot of successful men out there, very good providers, that are alcoholics, that are cocaine addicts, okay? And everything else addict out there, pill poppers, all that. They do everything else, but they're drug addicts, okay? Now, what could start to happen is if this man don't get help, the drugs become his life. Drugs can also make you very abusive. They can make you callous, because you do not care about anyone else but your high, yourself. Getting high again. And I think that that's something that needs to be helped. You need to get help for that immediately before it totally destroys your life. Period. Destroys you as a human being. I mean, what does that say about you? You know, that you cannot hold back from these addictions that you have. And as a man, you know, I think with our pride, I think, you know, it says something, you know, about you. You know, if you can overcome that addiction and fly straight, you know what I mean? So, it seems like only about, you know, so let's go run through them again real fast. So we got, he doesn't want to work, he doesn't live on his own, nah, fuck it, I'm not going through it again, it was a long enough video, but y'all can see, going through the video, what I'm talking about. So, ladies, don't lower your standards. Be very careful. This is coming from a man himself that knows men very well, because I am a man. Okay? Any questions? Hit me up. Y'all want me to elaborate on anything? Let me know. If you're mad at me, I don't give a fuck. It's my opinions. You're entitled to yours. And that's it. Magnesitas. 1 million subscribers.